I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to start off with some repurchases. I had run out of one of my all-time favorite masks, and it's by Mahalo Skincare. It's called the Bean Mask. If you go watch my empties video, which I know I need to film, I have like a massive overload of empties, so I need to do another one. But you will have seen that there was quite a few of these in there. It's a kind of a clay-based mask but it doesn't really dry down like a typical clay mask. But for me, I feel like it provides a hydration and a detox to my skin without like stripping it or making it really dry. It's something that I use when I just feel like my skin needs a pick-me-up, or I feel like maybe I'm breaking out or have congested pores or something like that. I typically try to use this at least once a week. The smell of this is divine. It smells like coffee and cocoa, and it's really a really lovely mask. And this is what it looks like. I always imagine, like, when I smell Mahalo products, because I've never been to Hawaii, but I always imagine that if I were to go, this is what like Hawaii would smell like, these skincare products. I absolutely love their stuff. I purchased mine off of the Beauty Heroes website. I'm a member of their subscription service, so I get like a box of their whatever they pick as their like hero for the month. And because I'm a member of that box, I get 15% off the entire website. So I do save a little bit of money because this is a very expensive brand. I also purchase off the Mahalo website every now and again when they have like their specials and stuff like that. So I purchased another one of the Bean Mask, and then the other product is also from Mahalo, and it's the Rare Indigo Beauty Balm. Again, you will have seen it in my empties video, but I'm at the tail end of the one that I'm using now. This provides nice hydration to my skin. It's kind of like a balm to serum, oil serum. I feel like it does a really good job to kind of counteract the irritation that I do to my skin with like acids and stuff. Just to show you guys what it looks like, it is a purple balm. So you kind of scoop out just a little bit of it and put it in your palm of your hands, and it kind of turns into an oil. Again, I wish you guys could smell these products with the camera. So anyway, I purchased those two products from Mahalo. Then next up, over Labor Day weekend, there was all kinds of sales, and Ofra was having a 30% off on their website, so I thought it was prime time to go ahead and purchase the Ofra and Nikkie Tutorials collaboration highlighters. They've since kind of rebranded and repackaged their stuff, which I really like the new packaging. I think it's nice. It's a little bulky, but it's nicer than what they were using prior. And I really like the Ofra highlighters. I think they have a really pretty, like, it's almost like a blinding finish to the skin. So Nikkie Tutorials collabed with them again and came out with two new shades of their highlighters. These are two versions of the old packaging that they used to have, and now this is what the new packaging looks like. And I kind of didn't even realize that these are both different as well, the older ones. So they've repackaged a few times. So this first one is called Cloud 9, and these have got 0.35 ounces of product in there, and so there's quite a bit. These have a very frosty finish, but there's no chunks of glitter in them. So if you're not into the high shine, high frost, these won't be for you, but they don't have glitter. This one right here has got a really strong pink undertone to it. It shifts to a really strong pink once you blend it into the skin. So that one is, you can see right there, that one is called Cloud 9. And then the other one is called Space Baby. And this one has got a really strong blue undertone to it. It shifts strongly blue. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch these against Star Island and the Pillow Talk one too, so you guys can kind of see the difference, because I've got I think 5 versions of these Ofra highlighters. I just think they're really beautiful. So you've got Cloud 9 and Space Baby, and then this one right here is Star Island. This is a really, really light champagne color right there. So that one is Star Island. I believe this is the one that I mentioned in my most recent favorites video. I love this highlighter. And then this one is Glazed Donut. This is an older Nikkie Tutorials collaboration. This one has got a strong, pretty, I guess it's like a white frost to it. So that one right there is Glazed Donut. And then the last shade for reference is in the shade Pillow Talk, which this has got a pink, a little bit of a pinky undertone to it, but definitely not as strong as the Cloud 9. So those are for reference for you guys. Star Island, Glazed Donut, Pillow Talk. And then you've got Cloud 9 right there and Star Baby. Is that what I said? Space Baby. Then I was in Ulta recently and they were having a buy one, get one 50% off NYX products, and they had some newer products that I hadn't seen before. So I purchased a few of those. This is the Brush On Bling Metallic Brow Gel, and the shade that I got was Fame Game. And back in the day I used to take glitter mascaras and I'd run them through my brows to give me a glitter brow. I used to do that a ton and I kind of hadn't done it for a while, so this kind of brought me back. And I've got this through my brows today. You might be able to see a little bit of sparkle. This has got a brush on tip to it, which I found a little bit interesting to begin with, but when I used it I found that it coated the hairs really nicely. I didn't want them saturated with glitter. I just wanted to finally put some like glitter shine on the eyebrow hairs, and it did a really nice job of that. So I really like this. I think that the next time I'm in there I may purchase a few more shades, because I think there were 4 colors, 3 or 4 colors if I'm not mistaken, but this is like a champagne-y gold right there. So that one is called Fame Game, and again I have that lightly on my brow hairs today. And then they also came out with these new Glitter Goals liquid eyeshadows, which I was super excited to see. I hope they kind of expand on the range, because again I think there was only maybe 5 or 6 shades of these. Comparable, I would say, to the Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadows, which I absolutely love. These ones might have a little less glitter than the Stila ones, but they're still a very, very nice alternative, because those Stila ones are like, I think $21 or $22 if I'm not mistaken. So buy one, get one 50% off. These are quite a bit cheaper. So I got the shade Polished Pinup, which again is kind of a champagne. And I mean, if you want to too, you could use these as like a brow gel and coat your brows with these too. They have a larger doe foot applicator, but you could always pick them up with a brush. So that one right there, and I have worn these as toppers over other eyeshadows, and they're very similar. Like I said, maybe just ever so slightly less glittery than some of the Stila ones, but that one's called Polished Pinup right there. And then the other shade is called We Out, O-U-I Out. So yes out, because this isn't we mean yes in French. And this is kind of like a taupey, silvery, grayish color right there. Very pretty new products from NYX. And then there's one other product that's new. This last one is called the Foil Play Cream Eyeshadow, and they had, I think, 5 or 6 again of these, and I had swatched quite a few of them in their tester pots, and this is the one that was the most like bling bling shine. And I have worn this on my lid. I've used my finger to tap it over like a shadow that I had on, and this is probably one of the most foiled eyeshadows that like topper cream shadows that I've ever tried. Like, it was that foiled. I didn't feel like the other shades in this same range had that type of strong metallic foil like this one does, but it went on really easy and it is really shiny. So this is the shade Beauty Buzz, and I kind of feel like this was the best one out of the bunch, but on the lid it had a wicked foiledness to it right there. Very, very pretty, like gold shade. So that is the shade Beauty Buzz in the Foil Play Cream eyeshadows, also from NYX. Also over Labor Day weekend, Milani was doing 20% off of their website, and there were a few products that I just couldn't find in the store, so I went ahead and took advantage and got the discount and purchased them online. And 2 of them are these new Floral Fantasy Rose Powder Blush Trio palettes, and I have quite a few of the larger rose blushes from Milani, and I think they're really pretty easy to use products. They have nice pigmentation to them, but they're not a product that you have to like worry about getting too much on. They buff out really nice on the skin. So I purchased the number 1. This one is called Flowers of Love, and there's 0.42 ounces total of product in here. And then you've got 3 blush shades. This one is a little bit more rosy, and the other one is more corally. This shade right here on a little bit deeper skin tone I think might be more of a highlight shade, but they kind of have a satin type of a finish to them. See, that one's pretty light. So that one is number 1 in Flowers of Love right there. Oh, get a glare on there. And then the number 2 palette is called Floral Fantasy, and this one again is more nude corals. And this end shade is kind of more of a shimmer satin matte kind of in this one. So you've got a finish of each. There. So that one is the number 2 palette, and this one is the number 1 palette from Milani. This next product is the Milani Gilded Desires Eye and Face Palette. And every Ulta that I went into, this was sold out. So I was happy that it was still in stock online. I think even on the Ulta website, it was sold out. And the newest palettes from Milani, they're these style ones right here. They're a 12-pan palette. I've got the ones in number 1 and number 2, and they recently came out with a number 3 and number 4. I found number 3 in Walmart, but not number 4. So I went ahead and purchased the number 4 one off the Milani website as well. But I thought I would go ahead and swatch these 3 palettes for you guys. For the money, these are really, really nice eyeshadow palettes. Milani has come out with pretty good eyeshadows for quite a while now. I feel like this is no exception. It's a really pretty eyeshadow palette, great pigmentation. The mattes are pigmented and they blend pretty well. This shade right here is a little on the thin side, but it builds up nicely. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matte eyeshadows, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of foiled. They almost have like a slightly cream texture to them. And then you've got 2 highlighters down here, which I can use this shade right here on the top of my cheekbones easy. And then if I mix it in with this shade right here, I can get more of a champagne. This shade on its own on my skin tone is a little bit too deep for me. So let's give you guys some swatches of this. Milani does some nice products. Go ahead and swatch these. There's the top row and the second row here. Some of these like shimmer metallic-y type shades remind me of some of those tart metallic pots. Like they just have like a kind of similar finish to them. There's the second row and the third row. I just like that you can find like this good of quality at like Walmart and the drugstores. So those are the eyeshadow shades. Of course you can use the face products, you know, on the eyes as well, but there are those shades. Did I tell you the name of this one? This is number 1, Gilded Desires. This is the only one that they make in this like format. We'll give you a swatch of the highlighters. Which the highlighters have a different finish than any of the other highlighters from Milani that I've tried. They have again like a foily, almost cream feeling texture to them. So those are those. And then this next one is the number 3 Soft and Sultry eyeshadow palette. Again, there is a 1 and 2 that's been out for a while. I got this one in Walmart, and I also got the number 1 and 2 in Walmart some time back. But Walmart does carry these palettes. This palette has like 4 metallic shimmers, which are this guy and then this row right here, and then everything else in here is matte. Again, these have great pigmentation to them and they blend pretty darn nice. I think they were $13 or $14.99 at Walmart. And then of course when I bought them on the Milani website, I did get 30% off. So that's the top 3, which are pretty light, but these ones are all matte. And then this row. Very cool toned palette. And then these last 3 are all pretty dark matte shadows. Oh. Oh, those are the swatches of the Milani number 3 Soft and Sultry eyeshadow palette. And then this last one is the number 4 Pure Passion eyeshadow palette, which is just stunning. It's really, really pretty. There are 2 rows of like metallic shimmers, which are the top row and the third row, and then you've got 2 rows of mattes, which are the second row and the bottom row. And this palette is just coordinated really well with both light and deep and transition shades and mattes and both the shimmer metallic. So I really like this one. It's probably my favorite out of the 4 that are out there like in this style packaging. These ones are all metallic shimmers. And then these are mattes. And then the metallic shimmers again. And then the bottom row, which is mattes again. Ooh. So that one is the Milani number 4 Pure Passion eyeshadow palette. And then lastly, I did go ahead and purchase the new Sephora Pro Pigment palette, and they're calling it the new Nudes. It's a 28 shade eyeshadow palette, and each shadow is 0.04 ounces a piece, which is kind of mid-range in terms of the amount of product that you're getting, but there's a ton of shades in here. And these are quite expensive palettes for a Sephora brand. They're $68 a piece. These are made in the USA, but I have got all 3 of the past ones that came out, and I really enjoyed those. Granted, there's a shade or 2 here and there that could be maybe a little bit better, but overall, those palettes I find are worth the money. And then the Sephora sale's coming up too, so there's that. The palette itself is a hard plastic packaging that has a really nice weight to it, and it's got a really large mirror inside that actually holds itself up depending on kind of where you want it. That's as far back as it goes, so if you want to lay it flat, that works too. And then here are the shades in the new Nudes. This is what I have on my eyes today. I really enjoy this palette. The mattes, when you put the brush in some of them, more so I found kind of the lighter shades, they do kind of kick up some product, but after tapping my brush off, I have very little fallout with any of the shades that I have used out of this palette thus far. I'm yet to use all of them because I did just get it, but I've used quite a few so far, and I really like this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and show it next to the Warm palette that came out a little while ago too, so you can see the color variation. And I believe there are 2 more of these coming out as well. I think that they did 3 new ones in this style format, and I'm going to get those ones too. Another nice thing that they did on these new ones was print the names of the eyeshadows on the actual palette. The older 3 have a plastic insert with the names on them. I much prefer the names printed on the palette though. So these are your shadows. Without sticking my finger in there, I'm going to try to point out the shades that are matte. So you've got Magnolia, Blonde, Nylon, Boots, Bubblegum, Thread, Branch, Spiced, Lily, Tulip, Hickory, and then this entire bottom row is all matte eyeshadows. For shimmers, you've got Daisy, Ribbon, Sandcastle, Sunkissed, Peach, Satin, Dewdrop, Wisteria, Camellia, and Magenta. I feel like the array of shades in here is really good in terms of both shimmers and mattes, lights, mediums, and darks. I really like the color tones in this palette. I feel like everything goes together no matter what color you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some swatches. Let's do it in rows going downwards. And again, this is what I have on my face today. Some of the shades, like this shade right here, which I feel like is one of the prettiest shades in the palette, like when you swatch it, it doesn't look as pretty as it looks in the pan, but packed on the lid, which I have it on the inner portion of my lid today, it looks much prettier. So that is the first kind of row. Do the second row. I do kind of feel like these palettes, I feel like they perform better than they swatch. I really do. I feel that way about the old ones too. In this row. Yeah, those mattes are very, very soft. And this middle row, I wonder if I'm going to have enough arm space for this. I might not have enough arm space. In this row, this is entirely mattes. I'm running out of space. Let's try right here. And then this row. I've got that shimmery pink on my lid as well, and again, it doesn't swatch quite as well as I feel like it looks much prettier on. And then this last row, which is also entirely matte eyeshadows. So those are the swatches for the new Sephora Pro, the new Nudes eyeshadow palette. That's a lot of swatches. And then here it is next to the Pro Pigment palette in Warm that came out some months ago, which is on the bottom. I believe I mentioned that palette in my yearly favorites. I've used that bottom palette a ton, and I anticipate that I'm going to use the new Nudes a ton as well. Some of those shimmer shades in the new Nudes palette have a really like thin, soft, like almost like a delicate shimmer to them, which depending on, like for me usually I like that over the top shimmer, but I've been using the palette, you know, all together, and with some of those mattes, those delicate shimmers have been turning, the looks have been turning out really pretty. Like I feel like today I've got those, you know, the shimmers on my lid right now. I just feel like it turned out really pretty. So I really like it. I'm excited to get my hands on the other Pro palettes that are coming out as well. Hopefully it's during the sale so I can save some money, because I mean they are expensive palettes, but you're getting 28 shades and the packaging is really nice. They're made in the USA. So who's seen on Sephora the holiday collections that are dropping? I'm like, too soon, too soon, as I do every year. It's like, it comes earlier every year. But I did place an order for, I couldn't help myself. I had to go ahead and order that Tarte Pineapple. I had to do it. Anyway, that is my Saturday haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.